So, bearings. Another way to measure angles is to give a bearing. And so here's one, west 30 degrees south. The first letter is where you start. We're going to start at west. And then, if you go 30 degrees towards the south, you will get this angle. Oh, mine's pretty good. I was almost right on. If I have west 40 degrees north, I'd start at west and go 40 degrees towards the north. That would be that bearing. So another way of measuring. Sometimes they give you these things. Okay? So, this is west, 30 degrees south. Sometimes I've seen this written like this, 30 degrees south of west. As an angle in standard position, this would be 210 degrees. And then there are bearings, and bearings always start at north. Man, like, come on, people, come up with one thing, right? Why do we have to have all of these different things for the same thing? Right? Like measurements. We have like centimeters, we have inches, we have kilometers. Just stick with one. How tall are you? 0.00003 kilometers. Right? Just have one measurement for everything. Is that short or is that tall? I wasn't even thinking. So a bearing comes from north. This would be 90, 180 plus another 60. This would be a bearing of 240 degrees. So you have to be able to understand the measurement no matter what they give you. So let's look at our next question. A forest ranger sees smoke rising. Oh, this is exciting. Sees smoke rising from a point that lies in the direction east 40 degrees north. So we draw our north, east, south, west. East 40 degrees north. So we start at east and go 40 degrees to the north. Wait for it. Maybe. Oh, it's going to crash. Oh, it did. Yeah, oh, it crashed. I shouldn't hit that button. I'm sorry. Okay, in order to get to this fire, you have to travel east and then north to get to the fire. The fire is 30 kilometers away. Am I able to write? I am. Am I able to hit this button? No, it wants to crash again. No, it does. There we go. There's our smoke. Oh, maybe a little bit of flame on that. That's hot. Those blue flames, those are hot. Right? There we go. There we got our fire. And so it's 30 kilometers away. But unfortunately, there's too many trees on that road. They can only go in this direction and then in this direction to get there. How far should they travel? So we need to figure out what this x is and what this y is. And beautifully, this makes a right angled triangle. So we can use our SOHCAHTOA. If I want to find x that's adjacent to the angle, I know the hypotenuse. So I can write that cos of 30 degrees will be the adjacent, no, not 30 degrees, 40 degrees, will be adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 30. And my calculator, since it knows every single triangle that has 40 degrees, it says, well, if you have the 40-degree triangle and one side is 30, I can find the other side by just taking 30 and multiplying it by cos of 40. 22.981. So this side to the nearest kilometer is roughly 23 kilometers. And if I want to find y, that's the opposite side. I would use sine because I know the hypotenuse. So sine of 40 degrees is the opposite side over the hypotenuse. And your calculator has this memorized. If you multiply both sides by 30, times sine of 40, 19.2836. Roughly 19 kilometers. And I'm pretty sure even if we rounded it like this, if they went 23 kilometers in that direction and 19 kilometers up, they'd probably see the fire. It wouldn't be like, oh, not here. Guess we better go back and remeasure. If I'm thinking they'd be close enough to see the fire. All right. If you breathe in, can you smell the smoke? Was it that effective? All right, questions for practice? Brought to you by 7-Eleven. Always have a Slurpee after fighting forest fires.